We will go to heaven, and they will just die. Nuclear blackmail is another Russian propagandist's novelty. Its aim is to convince the world of the inevitability of a military victory in Ukraine.
Either we lose in Ukraine and we surrender it all, or the Third World War begins. The most improbable scenario, that it all ends up in a nuclear strike, seems more likely to me than this.
Despite the fact that the topic of nuclear war appears regularly in the propaganda programs of Russian television, Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov claims that it is Ukraine which raises the topic. In a commentary for Indian TV, he stated that for many years Russia was in strong opposition to the use of nuclear weapon. It's not clear whether he tried to calm or to threaten, but in fact, Minister avoided to answer the question.
Sir, tactical nuclear weapons, will Russia ever use them, deploy them?
Zelensky, we never mentioned about this. He mentioned this, so his intelligence must have provided him with some news.
As a nuclear power, will nuclear be an option at all? Is it on the table at all?
When the Soviet Union...
The reinforced Russian nuclear rhetoric comes amid the escalation of combat in Donbass and an increase in Western arms supplies to Ukraine. The nuclear status reminder aims to instill fear into Western policymakers' minds, some as brazen woes of renowned propagandists. Allegedly, no matter how the battle in Donbass ends, Russia wins anyway, so what's the point of helping the party intended to lose? Allusions to triggering another world war share the same aim. Supposedly, arms supply can get countries involved into the conflict against their will. Both theses come from the manual of Russian propaganda, and its efforts are not entirely left in vain. As the war unfolded, a number of the politicians had voiced the fear of accidentally entering the war as the excuse for their hesitation in a question of weaponry supply to Ukraine.
Oui, pour les éléments de défense.
I have reservations about shipping weapons directly. Why? Because it's a fine line between sending aid and becoming co-belligerent. I think that what worries France and also Germany is an escalation of the conflict which would lead a number of countries into a war, which no one knows how it will end.
I'm doing everything to prevent an escalation leading to a third world war. There must be no nuclear war. What makes you think that tank deliveries from Germany would have these terrible consequences? There is no textbook for this situation in which one could read at what point we are perceived as a war party. The book is being rewritten daily, with some lessons still to come. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz in an interview for Spiegel. Yet another one Russian manipulation, assertion that the supply of the weaponry to Ukraine will only prolong the war and suffering. This is a popular thesis, which can be easily confused with a genuine call for peace, same as the calls voiced at rally held in Italian Pisa at the end of March. Video of this protest is actively distributed by Russian media.
Alcuni lavoratori dell'aeroporto davanti al quale siamo, cioè dell'aeroporto civile di Pisa Galileo Galilei, ci hanno chiamato facendo presente che un volo che gli avevano detto di caricare di aiuti umanitari si erano resi conto che invece si trattava di materiale bellico, si trattava di armi.
This commentary of the rally organizer was specifically highlighted in the Russian propagandistic TV channel that actively covered the event. Under radical anti-war rhetoric, representatives called to stop the war by not sending military aid to Ukraine. And this appeal may work when one either does not understand the real situation or gives it to be misled. When one for a minute may assume that both sides want war equally. But for Ukraine people, this struggle is a matter of survival, and for Russia, of the complete elimination of an independent state. Nick Starkov for UATV News.